Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy X. Last time, we got extremely lucky. Oh my god, did I do it? And then we got a little bit unlucky. Bye! Luckily, in the middle of those two, there was a save. Otherwise, I would have been so angry. So full of rage. Anyway, we've already fought these guys, but I did want to come back in here because I haven't shown capturing them quite yet. Which doesn't really take more than you otherwise would have invested into it. But I did want to point out that even though I haven't shown on screen that I've captured them... Oh, she learned an overdrive mode. Cool. I have been doing a little bit of work off-screen. Now, when I did this off-screen, I went and I captured 10 of all of the monsters here in the Calmlands, so that we won't have to worry about having to come back here to capture more enemies later. You have a maximum limit of 10 of each enemy in the game, minus a few that you can capture, and if you want to do the entirety of the Monster Arena side quest, which is pretty much more difficult than any of the final boss or anything like that, then you're going to want to capture 10 of every single monster. I like to kind of go and do them as I go. There's 3 dungeons before we get access to being able to go around the world again. And in doing that, in going through those areas, I like to capture 10 of every monster we encounter so that I don't have to go back to do them later. It's a little tedious for a Let's Play format, so for the most part, I'll just be showing the enemies once, just like I normally do, and then I'll be cutting out any additional stuff that we could have done with that, you know, the extra capturing, and maybe I'll just do the rest of it, like, in between episodes or something like that. Okay, we'll throw... Yeah, hopefully that doesn't kill it. Not that it really matters, because I've already captured it anyway, but... That... I can't remember who was in the party because I spent way too much time talking. But as I've been battling around, I have been fighting all the monsters around here, and I have been stealing from them all. Now, in order to get, say, about 90% or 80 to 90% of all the monsters, you know, 10 of all of them, it took me about half an hour to 40 minutes. To get 100%, it took me about an hour and 15. Now, do note that this is with the ×2 running the entire time, so that might not be the same as your values if you're trying to do this, say, on the original PS2 version. But I am going to, also, and as I was doing it, as soon as I captured 10 of them, I started running from those battles. I would steal, and then I would run away. So, as we're kind of talking about it, I do want to point out one of the things I've seen other Let's Players and other guides do is the enemies seem to appear in one place or another, and I want to point out where they are to make it a lot easier for anyone playing along who wants to capture these monsters. So we just ran into the Chimeras, and the Chimera brains are kind of found everywhere, but I've seen them more often in the northern half of the Calmlands, specifically on this side, but on the eastern side too. Let's see, the Fireflans tend to be on the eastern side and the southern side. Same with the Shred, the armored enemy. They're more often on the southern side or the eastern side. Let's see, the Corals, the lightning elemental cat panther things, I've only found them pretty much on the southern half of the Calmlands there. The Skull, which is the little dog enemy, they're everywhere, don't worry about that. Nebrios is the flying bite bug kind of thing. Those are found in the southern half and the eastern half, pretty much everywhere. The Anacondors, I find them in the northern half, but they're also in the southern half. They really are pretty much everywhere. And the Malbros tend to show up around in the northwestern part, right around up here. There is one other enemy we haven't seen yet. Is this guy. This guy seems to be the... I can't remember what I was saying. I've been off screen for so long. This seems to be the rarest enemy for me to encounter. That's why I had 2x speed on. Trying to find him off screen is always a pain in the ass for me. Whenever I've come here in the last 3 playthroughs, he's been the last one it's taken to capture, the ogre. Now, he's really difficult to encounter, and so I don't really know where the best place to find him is. I seem to find him more in the northern half, either kind of anywhere in the northern half, really. He does appear on the far eastern side as well as in the far western side. If you talk to the, whatever his name was, the guy there, you can steal stamina springs from him if you care. You don't. And those are skulls. We haven't shown capturing them. Those are the whatever the demon dog guys there. They don't really matter. But if you talk to the guy at the monster capturing area, they love that combo. They love picking on Titus in this fight for some reason. Yeah, if you talk to him, he will say that the stronger enemies are found in the northwestern part of the area. Malbros, these guys to an extent, Chimeras to an extent, Anacondors to an extent. But the thing is, most of them you can find in other areas. The Malbros are the only ones that you really can't find all over. And even them you can find rarely in the southern half. I've had that happen to me before where I was trying to avoid running into them and ended up running into them anyway. Well, no items for me. Let's see, we bring in Orin.
As you wish.
As far as strategy goes, if you deal enough damage to the ogre, he will put up his fists, and I will show that as long as Waka does not critical. And once he does this, he will counterattack every attack you land on him. Unless you kill him first. But yeah, we've already captured them. Now, I said it took me about an hour and 15 minutes to 100% things. The thing is, I was actually done around an hour, but because it took me about 10 or 15 minutes in between running into one of these guys, the 10th one where it just shows you captured them, to the 11th one where it says you've already captured enough of them, I didn't know that. So I wasted, 10 or 15 minutes trying to find the stupid guy. It's one of the tedious parts of doing the monster capturing. Okay, the other thing I wanted to note is that, like I said, I was running away from all the enemies that I had already run into and already captured, all 10 of. I went in about an hour and 15 minutes of fighting, and of course running away from the ones that I'd already captured all of. I gained, I think it's about 7 sphere levels for everyone. So it's a form of grinding, sure. Anyway, I just figured I'd at least note that. And we're back. Once you've caught at least one, you don't have to catch all 10, but at least when you've caught at least one, he can now reopen the monster arena here. And in appreciation, we get this chest, which we'll be able to open momentarily. And if you talk to him again, he will be able to create a specimen or a combination of the monsters that you've run into, usually one that's tailored to the area. And you get a prize for doing it. 60 far plane wins. You want to take a swing at it. First fright's free. Bring it on, bitch! Oh, it's another Chimera. We've already fought this guy, except for he's called Chimera Geist. And yes, they decided to make all of these optional bosses immune to sensors for some reason or another. It just makes no sense to me. You can steal mana springs from him. You can attack him. He's got a decent amount of HP. 120,000 HP. Yeah, you're not supposed to win this fight. But you also don't get game over for fighting around in here. And he does, I think he counters, or he just gets his turn a lot because he's pretty fast or something like that. But yeah, he's pretty powerful. If you want to try taking him on, you're going to be kind of out of luck. Yeah, you can probably put together some kind of strategy, using the null abilities or whatever. But because most of his spells are elemental based, but I wouldn't bother trying to do it now. You don't get game over when you fight in the monster arena. You're completely safe, which is great. You're not up to scratch. Yeah, I'm not into the post game yet, so that's why. And once you do that, you can go to select Fight Monsters, and you can take a look at all monsters you've captured from the different areas. The Thunder Plains, as you can see, we already have access to all the ones I captured when I went back there. I didn't max them all out while I was there, but I did capture a bunch of them, so that'll make my life easier for later. Makalania, I haven't fought any enemies there. Calmlands, we've got 10 of everybody, so that's good there. The Stolen Faith Cavern, which was actually translated as the Sunken Cavern, or the Sunken Cave, I think, in the original PS2 version. We'll be heading there next, and we can go and fight these guys whenever we want. But we have to pay every time we go in, so it's not really worthwhile right now. Also note that I did sell a lot of my excess weapons and stuff like that. I'm not going to go into any great detail about which ones I kept, but if you're trying to think of what things you want to keep, I would obviously keep the Tri-Steel, a plain strength weapon, your capture weapon, and as far as anything that has a proof on it, I would keep anything that completely prevents an element or a status effect, so anything with proof. Anything with stone protection, as long as you have at least one for each character, that would be nice. Anything with berserk protection would be helpful. Anything with zombie protection would be helpful, though you probably haven't found anything like that yet. And of course, your HP armor. You may want to keep anything that's got a lot of slots like this. I got really lucky and I got this, I think from Seymour one time or something like that. Hell, I think in the same fight I got this. This is actually really, really good, and I'm going to keep that for a little while, and then I'm probably going to customize it and make it one of her better pieces of equipment. But yeah, other than that, keep your elemental weapons with everybody else. Your HP armor, if you want that. I did keep the Nightlands. I don't think I use this all that much. I usually prefer to have Kamari on the piercing weapon. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Anything else that you feel like keeping, like I felt like keeping that, even though I probably will never use it, but it's there. I kept that just because I have a feeling I want something with multiple slots for Riku for later, and I'm not sure if that's it or if it is what I want it to be. These are the ones I just found, so we can sell that. Do note that you will find a lot of these Onyx equipment around here with magic defense plus 10. You may want to keep that, but I have no use for it myself. But there's that. And because I captured at least one of every enemy from the Thunder Plains, he will give us 99 Chocobo Wings. Now, every time you get items for the Calmlands, it will only give you up to a maximum, just like, the rest of the game, if you up to 99. So if you have, say, already 50 Chocobo Wings and then you get another one, then you're going to lose out on 50 Chocobo Wings because they're just going to disappear into the ether. Oh, Needles. Hello, Needles. Let's steal from you. More Chocobo Wings. Needles likes to counter with 10,000 damage. And then 99,999 damage. Yeah, you're not supposed to beat this guy either. None of these guys you're supposed to beat yet. And that's it. I like coming in for the first fight because it's free and then I can steal some items, see if there's something I want out of them before I move on. But for the most part, it's not worth trying to fight any of them at this point. You're not going to win. The Chimera Geist is probably the easiest of the bunch. Let's see. Are you going to give me anything else? He's created a monster. I've created a monster. And we get 63 stars. Now, unfortunately, what that means is, because I wasn't expecting that one to show up, this one you get, this is called the Earth Eater. It looks like the Chocobo Eater. Now, the problem with this one, it's one of the original creations. You can, yeah, he counters everything you do, and he does crap tons of damage. We do, and that's instant death. Now, I think I already had 63 stars from the other Chocobo-related side quest in Remium Temple. So, in this case, I had 60 plus 60. I've lost 20 or 21 of what I would have otherwise been able to get. So what I'm going to do here, the reason you got an original conquest there, the Earth Eater, is because you got 2 area creations. There's also what's known as species creations later on, but for the most part, we're not going to worry about this until past the point where we take on the final boss. So what happened here is I've got... Okay, you just have to keep talking to get more and more items. So let's see here. Items. Where are my 3 stars? Yeah, so I've already maxed them out. And I could have probably made use of some of the ones that I had. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reload. And anytime you go to talk to this guy, you pretty much want to save. You save, you talk to him, you figure out what items you get, see if you want to, if they're useful. See, 3 stars could be useful for me, so I'm going to try and make use of them. But some items, like, I don't know, let's see, if we got 99 bomb cores for something, I wouldn't worry about it, even if I already had 99, because bomb cores are useless at this point in the game. Mana springs, I think, are another one that I don't really have any use for, save for one... Actually, no, I don't think I ever need those. But anyway, so that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to reload, and I'm going to get the first 2, and then I'm going to find a use for the 3 stars, because it's a rare item. I think those are the only 2 big batches of them that you get in this game. So anyway, I will see you in a moment once I've done that. Okay, we're back. So what I did is I only fought the first 2 of his monsters. I didn't fight his 3rd one. And I'll turn off fast forward now. And if I talk to him again, he will want to give me the items there. I actually don't want those yet, because what I want to do is I want to make use of the upcoming weapons that we're able to buy before I do any of that. Because I want to use some of those 63 stars on those weapons there. So I'm going to go get a couple of those before doing that. In order to do that, I'm going to have to move on with the game. But before doing that, I want to make a pit stop here. Now that we actually have a weapon, I kind of glossed over it, but the weapon we got there for Yuna, the celestial weapon there, was her weapon. And because I got the Moon Crest from way earlier in the game in Besaid, I'm able to partially complete this ritual. Now, what happens here is you use the crests first, I believe, and when you do that, depending on whose weapon it is, it will also break the innate damage limit on a particular Aeon. The first one that you use on the Celestial weapon doesn't really help you all that much, though. So before I do anything else, let's just take a quick look at this. We got Titus's ultimate weapon here, the Kaldabulg. I have no idea how to pronounce that, and I probably did it wrong. It doesn't look particularly special with the no AP ability on it. That's how they come by default. You have to power them up. And the first one you power up will add double overdrive, which again, not particularly useful with no AP on there. So we usually still want to build it up a little bit more. And in order to build it up both times, we need to use both the crest and the sigil of the same one. This one here is for Lulu. I'm going to see if I can do the sigil first on Titus's weapon. I don't think I've ever tried to do that before. Yeah, time has not yet arrived, so you can't do that. And I got Kamari's, but I don't have his crest yet, so I can't do that either. So the only one you can really have going forward is Yuna's. And in Yuna's case, upping her power by applying the crest will break the innate damage limit for Valfor, or Valfor, however you want to pronounce it. So now that I've done that, Valfor will be able to deal some additional damage. And let's just take a quick look at our Aeons there. So he's got a strength of 45. Bahamut has 54, so it technically shouldn't do as much unless the damage is calculated differently. But I've always heard that this can do way more damage early on than even Bahamut can. So we'll figure that out as time goes on. The other 3 right now can't break the damage limit. So anyway, that's pretty much all for over here. I will now meet you over at the end of the Calmlands there, where we can move forward toward Gagazet there. And we're back. We've already taken care of Defender X. If we try and go toward the bridge there, one scene will play out. If we go down here...
This isn't the way in?
A separate scene plays out.
That way leads down into the valley.
Wow, you know your way around, yeah?
Stupid! Why would you say that? You know, the translator have to know that the implications of what he just said. There's no way they were that clueless. I don't care if that's a direct translation, it needed to be changed, unless they're just trying to make us laugh. Oh, jeez, that is ridiculous. Okay, so down here, do I have all my taming stuff on? Good. Alright, so let's go talk to you. What do you have to say? Okay. Ah, so we kind of heard that that was the case. Okay, that's enough about you. Down here in the gorge, we fight the enemies that we'll normally encounter in the, what I said was translated at one point as the sunken cave. Nice critical there. These guys just give you high potions, which I don't really need. I'm already pretty close to max on them. They do inflict poison a lot of the time, so kind of be aware of that. Yeah, Kamari's not doing a whole lot of damage at this point. I'll bring in Waka. You can inflict darkness on these guys if you care to. I don't. They don't do that much damage. They inflict poison a lot of the time, but if you're switching guys out all the time, it really doesn't matter.
See ya!
This is the point, and I meant to mention this earlier when we were talking about the enemies I caught. When you're doing all your monster capturing in the Comlands there, you want to be very, very careful about having a party where you have 2 slow characters going into it. Specifically with the Anacondor enemies, they have a sonic scream or some kind of a sonic attack. Hits all your party members, does between 1,000 and like 1,600 damage. If they ambush you, and they each get that attack off, that's almost 3,000 damage off your HP totals. Or they can both decide to use Stone Breath and stone 2 of your characters, leaving, say, only Orn left, and Orn's going to get hit 2 more times before he gets a chance at a turn because he's so damn slow. Lulu is the same way. So you want to make sure you have your faster characters in, specifically in the Comlands while doing it. It's not as dangerous in other places, but in the Comlands it really is dangerous. You need to pick up this before you can do one of the ultimate weapons later on in the game. This guy is unique. This guy, his name is Durin. He is a Blitzball player, and he is unique for being the only Blitzball player that disappears after a certain point in the game, and that point is entering the final dungeon. Once you enter the final dungeon, you will no longer be able to recruit him. So the only way you could possibly get him is if you already had him. Now, he is a semi-decent goalkeeper at the beginning of the game. I think he balances out at the end of the game at level 99 to be the worst character in the game. But I don't have to sign him. No, definitely not. Yeah, no doubt. So, no, I don't want to sign player. Go away. But I am considering using him because him and Jamal, and I believe it's Miyu, are all competent goalkeepers at this stage in the game. And I am considering doing a little more blitzballing before I go forward. In order to get Waka's next overdrive, you need to have completed, I think it's 200 battles or something like that. And I believe I've done closer to 400 based on kind of the research I've been doing. So I'm hoping I'll be able to get that to show up. It's a prize in Blitzball, and it'll only show up if you've completed so many battles. Status Reels, his next overdrive requires 200 battles. His final overdrive, Auroch Reels, requires 450 battles, I believe. I can't remember if you've already been in or not. Probably. There's critical from you. Orn might actually get the killing blow.
As you wish. Farewell.
I love the way he says farewell. It's my favorite battle quote in the game. Easily. And I forgot to give Titus the final kill because final shot. I had planned on that and then I forgot. Oh well. Titus got more than enough experience already. Alright, so we have one more scene to go before we're going to call her a day, and that is approaching this cave. Rather ominous with the purple smoke. Riku just runs on in. Oh, and she's back.
Where are we?
The faith is inside,
Oh?
as are the fiends.
Oh.
Hey, this where... Where? What?
The summoner I guarded on my first pilgrimage died here.
Whoa. She had said that her first pilgrimage ended here too.
Yuna, let's go. The faith awaits.
Though she was kind of cryptic about trying to explain that. It's interesting. Lulu's been, like Waka said, she's been around, though not in that way. You can see that this is kind of weighing on her. She does not want a second pilgrimage to end here. Though I believe last time it was only her and the summoner. At least that's my understanding of it. I don't think it's ever mentioned if there was another one. But anyway, this is an optional dungeon leading to an optional Aeon, the first one that we have access to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head in there and not only capture all the monsters that we can in there, but we're also going to pick up an additional Aeon. Before going through to the end, make sure you have about 250,000 gil, because you're going to need it. Anyway, that's all for this one, and I'll see you guys next time.